Jungkook to be discharged from the military without any celebration? Speculations of a breakup with BIGHIT are growing stronger. Is BTS's golden magne really walking away in silence?
No banners.
No fan events. No official BIGHIT notice. Just silence. What is going on behind the scenes of one of the most anticipated military discharges in K-pop history? It was supposed to be a triumphant return. A moment that would shake the industry with thunderous cheers and camera flashes. Instead, we're faced with a question that no one was prepared to ask. Why does it feel like Jungkook's homecoming is being buried instead of celebrated? As the days crawl closer to Jungkook's expected military discharge, the noise is oddly quiet. In fact, there is no noise at all. No countdowns from HYB. No statement from BIGHIT. Not even a hint of preparation for the grand welcome fans had long awaited. A silence that, to ARMY, speaks volumes. This unexpected absence of fanfare has sparked an avalanche of theories. Could this be a strategic move to protect Jungkook's privacy? Or is it something far more emotional, far more fractured? Possibly the quiet end of something we thought was eternal? What exactly is the nature of Jungkook's current relationship with BIGHIT, and why is it becoming the industry's biggest unspoken question? The man once hailed as the future of global K-pop seems to be drifting toward an uncertain horizon, and many are beginning to wonder if his silence is the loudest scream of all. More coming up in the next continuation. IT began subtly, as most rifts do. Not with explosions, but with an absence. An absence of excitement. An absence of plans. An absence of acknowledgement. For weeks now, fans have noticed the eerily quiet buildup to Jungkook's long-awaited military discharge. There was no teaser.
No countdown.
No signature message from BIGHIT that typically precedes any monumental BTS event. In its place, a thick wall of silence. To the untrained eye, this might seem like an oversight. But ARMYs know better. When it comes to BTS, nothing, absolutely nothing, is ever left to chance. Every post, every update, every emoji carries weight. So when nothing at all is said about Jungkook's return, the silence itself becomes deafening. Why now? Why Jungkook? The youngest member of BTS has long been regarded as the heartbeat of the group, a fierce performer, a vulnerable soul, an artist who wears emotion as honestly as he sings every note. His military service, while difficult for fans to bear, was expected to be just another chapter in a powerful story. One that would eventually bring the group back together. Stronger. Reunited. Unstoppable. But what if Jungkook doesn't want to turn the page? A few months ago, insiders whispered about strange behaviors, missed internal meetings, unreplied messages, and sudden last-minute changes in schedules. There was even talk of an emotionally charged disagreement during a private meeting with HYB executives. Though unconfirmed, the mere idea of Jungkook expressing discontent was enough to ignite forums, Reddit threads, and fan sites around the world. Could this be the real reason why BIGHIT has remained silent about his return? It's not the first time fans have suspected tension behind the curtain. During one of Jungkook's last public interactions before enlisting, his language was careful, almost too careful. He thanked the fans but didn't directly mention coming back. He spoke about time and healing. He mentioned not rushing anything. At the time, it was interpreted as humility. But now, in light of the growing silence, it feels like a warning. Has Jungkook been planning this all along? Some even speculate that Jungkook's decision to enlist early, before many expected, wasn't just about timing. It may have been a move to step away, to retreat, to rediscover himself outside the expectations of stardom. And now, as his military chapter nears its end, the question haunting fans is simple but shattering. Is he coming back at all? The evidence, or the lack of it, is damning. No rehearsal dates leaked. No reunion content prepared.
No merchandise.
No subtle hints, as the company is so well known for. Even Jungkook's personal messages on platforms like Weverse and Instagram have been nearly non-existent in recent months. In an age where silence speaks louder than press releases, this digital vanishing act is unsettling. Could it be a mutual decision between artist and agency? Or is BIGHIT scrambling behind closed doors, unsure how to handle a star who may be drifting away, not in scandal, not in anger, but in quiet exhaustion. In industry circles, the term idol burnout is rarely spoken aloud, yet it's the shadow that trails every superstar. And Jungkook, who debuted as a wide-eyed teenager and has since carried the weight of millions, might be one of its latest victims. Despite his global fame, he has always struck fans as deeply human, sensitive, thoughtful, often overthinking. The pressure to return not just to the group, but to the expectations of perfection could be more than even he anticipated. What does that mean for BTS? That is perhaps the most painful question of all. Because if Jungkook decides not to return, if he chooses a different path, even temporarily, the emotional dominoes could be catastrophic. Not just for the group's momentum, but for the bond that has been its foundation. BTS has always prided itself on unity. So what happens when the golden thread threatens to snap? BIGHIT remains silent. The fans remain restless. And Jungkook? He remains unreachable. This isn't just about a delayed welcome party. This is about what that delay represents. A fracture, a hesitation, a possibility that no one, not even the most loyal armies, were prepared to entertain. This the moment Jungkook steps out of the spotlight for good. Stay with us. We're just getting started. What if the silence is not just a pause, but a statement? As the days continue to pass without any official acknowledgement from BIGHIT, fans have started reading between the lines, and what they're finding is troubling. The usual stream of pre-release hype, staff posts, and insider leaks that typically accompany a BTS comeback or milestone has ground to a halt. There are no behind-the-scenes clips being prepped, no radio silence being broken by cryptic emoji posts, no congratulatory hashtags prepared in advance by the official BTS account. Just nothing. This has triggered a wave of user-generated content as armies around the globe try to make sense of the uncharacteristic void. Fan theories, once rooted in excitement, have grown darker, many now suggesting that Jungkook might be refusing to participate in the comeback at all. Not out of spite, but out of fatigue. Out of a quiet, lingering desire to finally step away from the machine he's been a part of since he was a child. The term Golden Magne was never just a nickname. It became a symbol of Jungkook's role as a flawless performer, someone expected to do it all and do it better than anyone else. But what happens when someone who's always been seen as golden begins to feel tarnished inside? Some of the most dedicated fans have pointed out that Jungkook's last known pre-enlistment solo work, particularly his emotional interviews and stripped-down live performances, hinted at inner turmoil. He often spoke about identity, about the pressure of expectation, about needing time to figure out who he really is outside of BTS. And now, that time may have changed him in ways that no one predicted. Industry insiders who asked to remain anonymous have begun quietly whispering that BIGHIT was caught off guard by Jungkook's change in attitude. According to one source, there were early negotiations about a comeback tour that involved all 7 members, something momentous to mark their reunion. But when the planning phase began, Jungkook reportedly pulled back. Not in anger, not in rebellion, but with an emotionally vulnerable message: I need more time. Those words, if true, carry a weight that cuts deep, not only into BIGHIT's planning, but into the hearts of millions who've been counting down the days to his return. So what now? With every passing hour, the speculation deepens. Questions that once seemed unthinkable now dominate trending lists. Has Jungkook fallen out of love with being an idol? Did the military give him clarity about what he wants, and more importantly, what he doesn't? Is BIGHIT hiding the truth because they, too, are afraid to admit it to the world? While no official statement has been made, the clues are starting to form a painful pattern. And the fans, as emotionally invested as they are being forced to confront a reality they never saw coming. A BTS comeback without Jungkook? A celebration muted by absence? The thought alone is devastating. But the silence from the company only fuels the fire. And then, a chilling new twist emerged. A now viral screenshot, allegedly taken from a private group chat among former HYB staff, suggested that Jungkook's team had requested his post-discharge schedule be left open-ended, meaning no commitments, no confirmed activities, no immediate media appearances. This, if true, represents a total break from standard procedure. Not just for Jungkook, but for any top-tier K-pop idol. A few of the agency's usual defenders tried to downplay the rumors, suggesting that the company is merely waiting for the right moment to surprise fans. But even that optimism feels hollow now. Because if this was a surprise party, the candles would have already been lit. And instead, the room remains cold.
Dark.
Abandoned. What could possibly push Jungkook to risk his relationship with BIGHIT? Could it be creative control? Internal conflict? Disillusionment with the system he helped build? Or something even more personal, something no PR team can spin, something no amount of comeback trailers can cover? The emotional weight of this moment cannot be overstated. For over a decade, BTS has represented not just music, but hope, connection,
Healing.
and Jungkook, with his soulful voice and raw authenticity, has been one of the most powerful vessels of that healing. To imagine him walking away, not in anger, but in quiet heartbreak, is something no fan wants to face. But perhaps the most painful question of all still lingers in the air, unspoken but ever present. Has Jungkook already made up his mind? And we're just now realizing it too late.